What's going on, people? Hope everybody is cool. So I was just sitting here, man, thinking about something. You know, black people suffer from self-hatred a great deal, astronomically. I want to talk about it real quick, man. I'm not going to tarry too long, but self-hatred, especially among black people, it often stems from internalized racism, when you're bombarded with messages that say you are less than, okay, because of your skin color, culture, or history. These ideas can seep into your own mindset and distort how you see yourself and people who look like you. Right? It's actually a survival tactic turned toxic. Right? It's a way to fit into a world designed to devalue you, right? Point blank, period. I'm going to talk about this real quick, man. The self-hatred, it isn't random. It's reinforced by systemic racism in the courts and housing and the media and everyday life and everyday interactions. I'm going to take a deeper look and a closer look at some examples that I put together to talk about this self-hatred, okay? First up, we got Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk, all right? Now, Candace Owens, we all know, is a well-known black conservative, right? Fine, you're a black conservative, fine. But she aligns herself with a lot of white supremacist ideologies. And she aligns herself with a lot of white supremacist people like Charlie Kirk, all right? Charlie Kirk is the founder of Turning Point USA. Kirk himself has made comments suggesting that, black pilots may not be qualified, etc. Another black conservative by the name of Darrell Scott. Darrell Scott is a lot different from Candace Owens when it comes to standing up against racism, because Darrell Scott, he was an advisor to Donald Trump, and he was around Charlie Kirk in the White House. And Darrell Scott told a story about how Charlie Kirk told Donald Trump that Donald Trump should just ignore black people. And Charlie Kirk said this in front of black conservative Darrell Scott. And Darrell Scott told Charlie Kirk that he'll whoop his you-know-what. Okay? What's troubling is that Candace Owens not only tolerates people like Charlie Kirk, but she also tolerates a lot of white supremacist thoughts and ideologies, and she amplifies them. Right? She often dismisses systemic racism that data has shown. She dismisses that, right? And she upholds white supremacy, okay? And she's friends with people like Charlie Kirk. Why would a black person, whether you're a black American or a black African or whatever, if you are a black person, why would anybody black want to be friends with somebody like Charlie Kirk, who's a bona fide white supremacist? Seriously. You have to suffer from some level of self-hatred for yourself. Listen, I'm tired of drill music. I'm tired of black culture. I'm tired of this. Let me go over here and partner with the Grand Wizard of the Clan to see if we can get this situated here. I'm tired of black people doing this. Let me go and call up a white supremacist to see if we can partner together and come to some sort of conclusion and we can get this fixed. Listen, even if I do have hang-ups with some things that black people do, right? Even if I do, I'm not going to partner with a white supremacist to get it done, man. I'm not going to do that. If I do that, that shows that I suffer from some level of self-hatred. All right. Next up, I'm going to talk about Kanye West and Nick Fuentes, right? Kanye West and Nick Fuentes. Now, Ye is one of the most influential artists of all times, right? But he associates himself with people like Nick Fuentes, who's a bona fide, known white supremacist. All right. Fuentes has openly stated his disdain for black folks, all right, and racial diversity, and has praised white supremacist policies. All right. Despite this, Kanye brought Fuentes to a dinner at the White House. Why would anybody black want to stand shoulder to shoulder with somebody like Nick Fuentes, who doesn't even like you? That has to be a strong level of self-hatred. right? Kanye's decision to give a platform to somebody like Nick Fuentes is more disappointing. It's dangerous with somebody like Kanye, right? Aligns himself with somebody like Nick Fuentes, who's a white supremacist. Like I said earlier, listen, even if I got some hangups with Black America, I'm not going to partner with a white supremacist to try to address those hangups. This is why I'm talking about self-hatred today, man. Self-hatred. And stick around because I have a message at the end. Look, let's talk about Anton Daniels, right? And some claims that he made while talking to Charleston White. Now, while talking to Charleston White, now, first of all, Anton Daniels is a black YouTuber, right? While he was talking to Charleston White, he publicly claimed that the most hated man in the world is a white man. Let's pause on that for a second.
The most hated person in this country
I'm about to say,
by far. We can get away with saying
Anton Daniels said the most hated man in America, in the world, is a white man. Now, while Anton is entitled to his own opinion, the data tells a different story than that opinion, which means he's entitled to his own lie. That was a lie. All right? Studies and reports consistently show that black people face the brunt of hate and discrimination globally. Globally, bro. The most hated person in the world is a black man and a black woman. Okay? Why do I say that? Let's take a look at wrongful convictions. Black people are 7 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of murder than white people. Where do I get that source from? That's the Innocence Project, a very credible source. What about housing discrimination? Black families are systemically denied mortgages and face higher rejection rates than white families with similar financial profiles, right? That's according to PMC. What about hate crimes? According to the FBI.gov, okay, the FBI reports that black people are among the most targeted groups for hate crimes in the United States of America. That's FBI crime data, okay? The idea that white men are the most hated doesn't hold up to the data. It doesn't hold up to scrutiny. Now, what Daniels may have been reflecting upon is his own personal bias shaped by media narratives and you know, things like that, but definitely not a lived reality. And you have white people that'll tell you that. You have white people that'll tell you what he said was a lie. But in his self-hating mind, he feels that a white man is the most hated person in America when he can't find any data to back that up. Nothing. All right. Now, what about Charleston White? Charleston White. Let's talk about Charleston White for a second. The guy who everybody loves, right? Charleston White, a black man who actually has been seen wearing Confederate clothing, Confederate attire, Confederate garment, right? Now, the Confederate flag and symbols thereof are direct ties to a time when black people were enslaved. The flag represents the fight to keep black people enslaved. There's no reclaiming or justifying it, right? There's no reclaiming or justifying a black person wearing the Confederate flag. Why would anybody black want to wear Confederate clothing when it was something against you? That has to be a great astronomical level of self-hatred there, man. It has to be. When a black person embraces these symbols and these garments and these clothings, it signals a troubling level of disconnection from the history that black people have gone through in America, man. Why would anybody black want to wear a Confederate flag? Makes no sense. Why would anybody black want to kick it and hang out with Charlie Kirk, Richard Spencer? Why would anybody black want to hang around Laura Loomer? Why would anybody black want to hang around people like David Duke? Why? To actually act as if you're working towards something. Huh? These people don't even like you. They don't even like you. So what are you doing hanging out with them? It has to be a great level of self-hatred, man. What about the Hodge twins, all right? The Hodge twins. I'm going to end it right here. But these comics, these comedians, because that's what they are, all right, interview David Duke, the former leader of the KKK. Now, instead of challenging David Duke on his racist rhetoric in the past, in the current, they laughed along with him, essentially giving him a platform to spread hatred. All right? talking about an award, the N-word award, and all these are Black American dudes sitting up high and kikiing with David Duke, a dude who doesn't even like them. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying. There has to be a great level of self-hatred. Black people suffer from self-hatred. You'll never see a Jew hanging out with a Holocaust denier. You'll never see that, man. You'll never see it. You'll never see a Jew hanging out with somebody who embraces Adolf Hitler. You'll never see it. You won't see it. But you see these type of things a lot when it comes to Black people. You see it a lot. Okay? I'm going to end it right here, man. When you've been conditioned to see yourself through the eyes of white supremacists and people who don't like you, you might start to believe what they say about you. For some, aligning with white supremacy and racist or oppressive ideologies, it feels like a way to gain acceptance or avoid conflict. But to me personally, the cost is too high, and I love who I am too much to align myself with white supremacy to address anything concerning Black people, man. Do I have hangups with things that Black people do? Of course. Do I have hangups with things that some Black people do within the community? Of course. All right. But I'm not going to align myself with a white supremacist to address it and act as if I'm going to get something done with a white supremacist. Okay? I'm not going to do that. You have, and again, that's not all of Black America. You have degenerates in all cultures. You have degenerates and you have degeneracy in all cultures. Definitely. Okay? Definitely. Just like you have killers in Black society, you have killers in white society. All right? You can have a killer in Black society and you can find 2,400 videos of Black people making videos talking about how they hate themselves and how they hate other Black folks because of this killer. I'm tired of us. We just killing folks. This is why I don't like us, man. But you can't find white people doing that about themselves when you have people like Robert Cremo doing mass shootings, when you have people like Peyton Gendron killing up people, when you have people like Dylan Roof killing up people, Ethan Crumley killing up people, Jeffrey Dahmer killing up people, Charles Manson killing up people, Stephen Paddock killing up people, the Zodiac Killer killing up people. You can't find videos of white folks talking about, I just hate being white. I just can't stand it. But you can always find videos of Black people making those kind of videos, man, when you have a Black person that commits a crime. Black people suffer from a great level of self-hatred, and it's astronomical. It's intense, very much so. Me personally, I can afford to align myself with people or symbols who are actively working against me. Charleston White sitting up there putting on Confederate garments. Dude, you a Black man. Why are you wearing Confederate clothing? I don't get it, man. Self-hatred. That's the only thing it can be. That's the only thing it can be, man. And with that being said, man, I'm going to leave you all with this. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, goodness, mercy, grace, great things, and doors opening will be added on to you, man. God is good, man. Jesus Christ is Lord. I'm gone. Peace.